get away from him. Like,
could you do that?
Yes.
Is it that serious to you?
Yes.
Do you love yourself enough to say, you know what? If this is the behavior that continues, I can't stay.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book, another one. Little Black Book, you know what time it is. We're going to you guys about couples therapy, couples retreat, but I wanted to infuse a question with it as well. You're not prepared to leave it all behind if he cheats. Are you prepared to leave? Because that's a question that she was asking Tiana at that point in time, and many people aren't prepared to leave. So what's the point of snooping? What's the point of getting vexed and snooping if you know you're not prepared to leave? You're wasting your time and his time and everybody else's time. Sounds mad and sounds toxic, I know. But the reality is a lot of people are not prepared to leave. And if you're not prepared to leave, what happens is you actually place all the power in the other person's hand. And I think that's what AJ was trying to allude to with Tiana. You can cry all the tears you want to cry. You can get emotional all you want. But if you decide to stay after the situation, and you're probably going to stay the next time and the next time because you're not prepared to leave. And I understand why it's so difficult to leave, because if we really look at it, there are different issues. You're thinking about the kids. You're thinking about the history you have. You're thinking about the investment and time and energy you place into the situation. You're asking yourself, where would I find another person like this? You're thinking about the loss of lifestyle potential that may come into play. The father of your kids in this particular instance, all right? Also, not having a relationship with the children anymore, right? And you're thinking about so many different things when it comes to the relationship as to why you may not leave. But you need to have a mindset that says, I'm prepared to leave. Now, it's so sad because, of course, we never want to see relationships and marriages break down. They've been married for almost 3 years now. You never want to see them break down, right? But when someone cheats and betrays you, if there's not a change of their behavior towards you, then they're likely to do the exact same thing again. And you have to believe what they've shown you. We have a saying, believe who somebody says they are. What they said they are, this person, believe them. Don't try to outbelieve. Don't try to change it. They've shown you who they are. Believe them. And so, are you prepared to leave it all behind if he cheats? Is the question that AJ was asking Tiana. Now, there's a few other clips I wanted to play. Let's just have this.
I just don't know how, he could betray me like that. So many times and see me cry. And so when I see things like that, it's just like...
The reality of the situation is Fatboy had a DM come into, had a DM. He showed her, and then she, said something, and he got frustrated about her reaction towards the DM. And the reality was she was re-triggered. Now, I think this goes both ways, right? You decided to stay, you wanted to make it work. We're going to have to work on your triggers. And at the same point, at the same aspect too, Fatboy, who's her husband too, has to know as well that these things are going to trigger her because it's not been long since you last cheated. And the last time you lied and said it was okay, it was cool, and she believed you. But now she doesn't believe you when you say something because you've broken that level of trust. Once you lied, you snapped the reality of trust out of the relationship, and repairing it is like repairing an ACL, MCL, and LCL. You ever snapped your knee? You know it's difficult. Okay, trying to bring the sinews back into play, right? So for her, she's getting re-triggered by that DM, and so her reaction is a bit more volatile than it needs to be, but it's because she's still hurt. You've pressed on a wound. Now, Fatboy should have really been ready to receive that energy because he knew it's a DM. The girl's doing too much. It's still pretty much fresh that you cheated. It's going to be issues. But he too felt some type of way because he was reading her reaction as being, well, she's volatile like this. She may leave me. And, we'll do a part 2 and you'll see what I mean by that. So the question obviously then being asked, okay, yes, are you prepared to leave and leave it all behind if Fatboy cheats? Is a tough one for her. But the original epicenter of the reason why the situation went the way it went is because of triggers on both sides. Okay? All right. Her esteem was broken before she got into a relationship and during the relationship. Right? Because she decided to stay. There was probably some brokenness already before she entered. And the relationship then further broke her esteem furthermore. Now, I want to say this again for those who are obviously watching again. The question is, are you prepared to leave if they cheat? And some of you are going to scream at the screen and say, yes, you are. And I said, are you ready to leave it all behind? The history, the time, the loving memories, the kids with their father? Are you willing to leave that all behind to make better choices for you and to put your, not just your happiness, but your safety, emotional safety as well? That's a key question. So yes, watching Tiana and Fatboy opens our eyes to see how difficult it can be, because when she's explaining how she feels betrayed and she can't believe he did those things, the question is, has he changed his behavior?
Do that to me again, you know what I mean?
So what does that mean?
I would never let him lie to me. I'm gonna figure
What's gonna
it out.
happen if he does?
Then I gotta get away from him. Like,
could you do that?
Yes.
Is it that serious to you?
Yes.
Do you love yourself?
I think I love this point because he's obviously, the first thing she's obviously responding with and saying, look, can't believe you've done that to me. It hurts. You know, and I'm never going to let him lie to me again, which is great. But what's the consequence? Many people will say to you, I'm never going to let them cheat again. So what's the consequence? And are you and that consequence, is it going to be out of your anger in terms of I'm going to wild out and do it, or is it going to be, look, hey, this is a consequence. I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to be done. I'm not coming back to this again. Right? I'm not revisiting this again, because infidelity breaks people. It is trauma. It is painful to go through. So is there a healthy consequence as a result of breaking the rules? That's the question that needs to be asked for her. Okay. So then when she goes on to ask her what will happen if that's the case, then, and then she's like, well, I guess I'll have to leave. And that leads us onto that initial clip that we showed.
I gotta get away from him. Like,
could you do that?
Yes.
Is it that serious to you?
Yes.
Do you love yourself enough to say, you know what? If this is the behavior that continues, I can't stay.
You saw her face, right? Her thought, her actual thinking, right? Because it's easy to say, you know, I got to get away. But no, we're saying, will you be done? Because it's easy to say, I'll get away. You might be thinking about getting away temporarily, and then maybe his behavior will change or whatever. No, you'll be done. Finished. Finito. No more. Relationship has hit the rocks. Could you do that? And I think when that question hit, the reality also hit for her. And it actually hits for a lot of women. Same with Danae Jackson and Derek Jackson situation. The reality of having to leave when the person cheats hits you. And because you love the person more than you love yourself, you will choose to stay in an environment which is consistently toxic, and that consistently breeds putting your feelings second on the back burner. You don't want to be in that place. All right? You want to be in a place where you're loved and you're appreciated, and your feelings do come first, as well as him putting your feelings first, as you putting his feelings first. You know, it is a symbiotic, almost. I mean, not a symbiotic, but I say a reciprocal aspect of putting each other first, of servitude. But anyway, let me leave it there. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. Let me let you know. Are you prepared to leave it all? That's the real question right there. Appreciate you.